Welcome, this is Hayden. Hayden is one of our paramedic lecturers at AUT, and he's been using Twitter as part of his toolkit for professional networking, and particularly using it before he was a lecturer here at AUT. So Hayden's just going to tell us a little bit about how he has used Twitter as part of his CMOP specialization section, and how he might use it in education in the future.
Yeah, so my Twitter handle is at Paramedic Kiwi, very imaginative. I got into Twitter by accident almost. I had a bit of time on my hands. I had leave without pay off work, and my brother used Twitter and kept talking about it. So I thought I'd take a look and see what all the fuss was about. And then as I was looking through Twitter and the people on there, I came across a whole lot of different clinicians, doctors, nurses, paramedics who use Twitter for sharing clinical information and educational tools. And I found it really, really worthwhile learning tool for myself. Kind of used it as an adjunct to my own continuing education and postgraduate study I was doing at the time. And from there it's kind of grown for me into something that I didn't think it would. It's a bit of a networking tool. So I use it for professional networking and interacting with different people. I guess the challenge for me with this project is trying to work out how I take Twitter and the way I've used it for my own learning and use it as a tool for delivering my content that I'm trying to do in class and get my students into using Twitter in the same way that I have. Over the last couple of years, I've been doing a few talks at conferences, particularly student conferences, and to the students here at AUT about Twitter and FOMED, which is the free open access medical education stuff. And there have been quite a few students who have taken up Twitter as an educational tool. One in particular, Victoria, who was in one of the classes I spoke to about Twitter and FOMED, ended up going to Berlin to the SMAC conference last year, the Social Media and Critical Care Conference, as a student volunteer. And she got onto that through my talk and through her use of Twitter, which was really great to see. And it gave her an opportunity to network and interact with a huge range of international experts and clinicians, all doctors, paramedics, and nurses, which was a great experience for her. So it'll be good to get other students going down the same pathway.
And I think that's part of the key. Part of the key really is having, for students to be able to have a model of the professional use of Twitter in particular, because they don't necessarily use it professionally, they use it socially, or they don't use it at all because they use Facebook messaging. So let's have a bit of a look at how you actually use Twitter there, Hayden. So we're going to zoom in on your iPad and have a look at your Twitter account.
So this is my Twitter profile. Got a short description of what my interests are and what I'm about, and a bit of a comical background picture there. So my Twitter feed, it's mainly clinical stuff. I don't really use Twitter for personal interactions, mostly education stuff and sort of professional networking. So Salim there, he runs an online education site, Rebel EM, excellent resource for emergency medical sort of stuff. All core, of course, because I have an interest in resuscitation. And then most of the people I follow are clinicians, whether paramedics, nurses, doctors. Nothing against physiotherapists or podiatrists or occupational therapists, but not really the kind of clinical perspective that I'm after. Got AUT paramedicine there. A little bit of a shout out to our department Twitter account.
So how do you filter information on Twitter, Hayden?
Filtering is a big thing with Twitter. As you can see, I'm following over 3,000 people, so I'm probably not the best example of filtering. So the best thing to do with filtering on Twitter is really limit the amount of people you're following to those people who have the same key interests that you do, or who share really relevant information. So I'm probably going to be getting to the stage where I actually need to do a bit of a cull, and not be so nice about following people who follow me, because it does get really hard and difficult to keep up with. Problem though is, if you narrow it down too much and limit the amount of people you're following, then there is a risk that you miss out on good information and pearls. But probably if go through some of the people that I'm following, there's people there who don't have profile pictures and a description. There's probably a lot of people there who aren't actually particularly active, and they're following me because I share good information, but I'm probably not getting a great deal out of them.
Yeah, so you don't necessarily have to follow people back. That's part of the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, if you're trying to build up your fellowship, it all sounds a bit churchy and cult-like. If you're trying to follow up your fellowship, it's really good to follow people back. Social media is about being social and interactive, and it shows that you're active and you're wanting to interact with other people. But it gets to a point where you just got to be pragmatic about things.
So what are your thoughts about integrating Twitter and other social media into the curriculum for paramedicine?
I think we've got a lot of scope to do it. I'm very excited about that and exploring how we do it. It's an interesting challenge. I'm aware that a lot of students don't necessarily use Twitter, and pretty limited with their social media tools that they use. So the challenge for me is trying to incorporate Twitter into the curriculum, and I think there's a lot of scope for delivering content. But either got to use the social media tools that students are already using, or take the time to direct them into using tools which are more ideal for delivering the content, which will take a bit of time and effort, and I don't think it will happen overnight. But there are quite a few students who are now using Twitter in a positive way for their education and professional networking. So.
Okay, well, thank you for your time, Hayden, and we'll catch up with you later.
Cheers.